Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Unmasking Mum, the podcast, with me, your host, Anna Bonasera. This is the podcast where all of the things that I wanted to know the answer to, that I Googled, that I asked AI, that I pondered in my mind, this is where I want to answer them for you, who is somewhere on your journey. So welcome. Thank you for being here. And today I'm going to do I'm just going to talk at you. I had something planned and then I had a moment yesterday and I wanted to talk about this moment because I think in these moments are what are really relatable, and it's good to be able to show that you're not alone in how you feel in these circumstances. So I've been talking a lot recently about a certain topic. I've been diagnosing people with FOPO, fear of other people's opinions. Okay. And I suffer from this myself. Okay. So I can't bullshit you. I never would. FOPO, fearing other people's opinions, is something we're never going to get over. It's something we are going to live with. It is like embedded into our brains. It's how we're built, right? You know, we fear what's going on around us. We're survival mode, fight, flight, freeze. I'm sure you know all about that stuff. It is embedded into us. But with the day and age we're in, it makes it much easier. There's much more of it because there's many more things that we're doing. You know, as women, we're allowed to do things now. We can be our own people, and internet, social media, you know, it all helps. It not helps. It all hinders and it all triggers. It all adds to it. So it's never going to go away. There is no cure. And even though it's something I teach, I talk about, I help clients move forward from, it's something I also still suffer from myself. I am only human, okay? So yesterday, I was getting ready to do a talk and I was all happy and smiley and I was in my new uniform. I've decided this is now my uniform. If you're watching this, it is a mesh top. And I also have the dress version and it's all pinks and purples and oranges and it's got massive phoenix on it, like sun, like the heart and the eye symbol, just like an amazing pattern. And it is gorgeous and glorious. And it's all I'm going to wear now. No, obviously it's not, but this is what I plan to help be recognizable. I'm always going to wear this so you can know it's me. And I was feeling so good. I had my hair done last week. I was just feeling really happy, glam, good. I took some pictures. I took a little video talking about this top. I think it's called Coco Laboo Loves, something like that. Small business, amazing. And I was feeling good. And I wanted to post a story. I wanted to share this video that I'd taken, me being all happy and excited, glam. But my previous story was edging on depressive. And the FOPO set in. The fear of other people's opinions. I can't post that. How can I post that? It's going to make me look like I'm faking. So I'm going to go back and talk about what was it depressive? Why was I posting depressive things? So I'd had a weekend, just been the weekend with the 5 kids. My husband was working. I had all the boys home this weekend. And we had found a new thing to do, a new send activity that actually was inclusive. It was at a reasonable time. It felt mostly safe at a reasonable price as well, like £3 per family to go on different bikes, disability bikes that you can sit on 3-wheelers and you could sit on together, ones that you lie down and bike, ones with your hands, all these different bikes. And the kids had a great time, except Luca, who has literally just been for a while now on the edge of meltdown all of the time. If you don't know, I have 5 children, all are neurodivergent, and my twins, Jude and Luca, are both autistic, I would say on the severe side, and both have learning disabilities. And Luca is also minimally speaking. So he is basically like a big toddler in a prepubescent body, which I feel like is a perfect storm of emotions, rage, anger, frustration. And with the lack of being able to speak. So when I say minimally speaking, I mean, he will say, "I love you, Mom," which is amazing. I absolutely love. He will say hello. He will greet people. He knows people's names now, but he won't even tell me when he needs to go to the toilet. Like, he just will go himself. And if you're in a public place and you don't have your eye on him and he just goes, you lose him. He goes to the toilet. And that is that. It is really hard communicating. And it's funny actually, because I had a parents' evening and they were like, he's doing so well at telling us why he's sad. And I'm like, I wish he would tell me at home, because that doesn't. So he just has huge meltdowns, and he has what we call self-injurious behavior, which is basically he hurts himself. He headbangs. He will literally get his wrist and bang his wrist so hard against his head. He hit it against the wall. He will throw himself on the floor. He has these massive bruises on his legs, like they are awful and they look so painful, where he just smacks himself, and it is awful to see. And we are on a journey. It's been a journey of trying to get some medication and see if that helps, but I still have massive questions about it all. It's still an exploration, but we can't carry on like this. It is bad for us, but because no one has been hospitalized, him or one of us, if we get in the way, it's not enough to be seen as an issue to the professionals. So it's like in this weird limbo land. Okay, I dealt with it pretty well. When we were at the bike place, there was this little van selling food, and I was just like, fine, I will buy the food. If it make him happy, I will buy the food. It was also the first time we changed our whole routine. Normally we just go to McDonald's on a Saturday, but because we were going there and Luca had actually asked the day before about having KFC, I was like, okay, we'll just get KFC delivered, because they deliver now to our little village. It's amazing. I mean, it's more expensive, but it wasn't too bad. So I didn't bring any snacks. That was an epic fail. Definitely bringing snacks next time. So I ended up spending, it wasn't too expensive, some money at this little tuk-tuk, and it kept him happy for the most of it. He would not wear a coat, and he didn't have a jumper. So he was definitely cold, because it was cold. I only had a jumper and I felt cold. So there were lots of things that kind of impacted, and he wasn't the best. He wasn't the happiest, but it was manageable. It was manageable. He was a bit loud, screamy, sad, running around, but he wasn't hurting himself. I'm trying to think, was he? I don't think so. Not hurting anyone else. So it was okay. We were in an outdoor space. Everyone was kind of in the same boat. So when you're around people who get it, it feels so much easier to be around those people, and to just let him have his big loud feelings out loud. So we'd had a good time. Everyone else had a really great time. I mean, my toddler was a bit moody as well, but apart from that, it was really great. I posted some really happy, smiley photos, and I took some videos and shared it. And then then on Sunday, Luca had his first day out with his new PA, which is a personal assistant. So it took about a year to get direct payments set up, which is basically funding to have these personal assistants to take the twins out, because it's a lot. It gives us a bit of respite, and it gives them a feeling of independence and doing stuff one-on-one with someone who knows what they're doing. And then it just means I can have time with the other kids, and they don't have to be on edge worrying or have to miss out because they have to leave early of places because of meltdowns and stuff. So it is a really great thing. We had a great summer last year, and then unfortunately both the PAs could no longer do it due to other commitments. So it's taken almost another year, but we have finally found another one for all the time, and then an additional person who's going to help in the summer holidays. So at the minute, the twins are sharing. So one Sunday a month each, they are going out with this new PA. And I booked him the cinema ticket to see Shrek. I asked him what he wanted to see, and Shrek was on. He loved Shrek. Went out, spent almost £20 on food, which is all this pocket money that's been saved up. So next time, I'm definitely giving him a smaller budget. He literally bought a foot-long hot dog, this massive thing of soda and this massive thing of popcorn. So I'm definitely sending, and he had a whole packed lunch as well, by the way. I'd packed a whole packed lunch, which he also ate. And so he had a great time, which is brilliant. And then he came back, and we very quickly turned around and went to my mum's, which he loves. My mum's, he loves nannies. All my children are obsessed with my mother, obsessed with Nanny, to the point where probably it drives her up the wall sometimes. And he was fine for the most of it. And he has a bit of a sniffle. I don't know whether it's because he wouldn't wear a bloody coat on the Saturday, but he's got a bit of a sniffle. And because he's just on edge, I feel obviously I don't know because he can't tell me, but this is how I see it. When his nose starts to run, a normal person would just go and get a tissue. He doesn't. He just leaves it. And I think it annoys him, but he doesn't do anything about it. And I think just the sensation and the feeling that sensory thing is just literally too much for him right now. So he then is loud and angry and hurting himself and tries to start a fight with his twin, Jude. Now, Jude is fully speaking, but Jude does not like Luca really. There is like massive issues we've had over the years. So it has been a lot. So we are trying to calm him down, to keep, they're all sat at the same table, which at home we don't do. My mum's only got one table, like one place where they can eat. So it is what it is. I'm tempted to do dinner in stages at my mum's in the future to see if that makes a difference. But yeah, it is hard work. And that's why I don't have them sitting at the table, which I would love to, but it is hard. It's challenging. And then my Luca was loud. He wasn't he wasn't starting too many fights at this point. He was just loud. And it does, like, when someone that all of a sudden screams, it makes you jump, right? And I think my eldest, I feel like he might be heading for burnout. Hell, I don't know if it's just hormones, but he is just, all over the place, person. So my eldest, Nathaniel, NJ, is 13, 14 in September. And it's a lot for him to deal with. He and the twins share the same dad, so he doesn't get a break from them. So when they aren't here and I get a little bit of a break and just have the two, he goes with them, and it is a lot. And he just got really quiet. He's such a shut down kid. He's such a polite people pleaser, perfectionist, doesn't want to rock the boat, doesn't want to upset anyone, does everything he can to make everyone else happy, while probably not making himself happy enough. And he just went really quiet, and my mum was like, what's wrong? Why won't you tell me what's wrong? And then he just like left his plate, like half eaten dinner, and just went upstairs, went to the toilet. So I just followed him up after, and I knocked on the door, and I just said, like, can I come in? And he was like crying into like looking out of the window, and he was just, I don't want to say it to you. And I was like, you can say anything to me. He said, but I don't want to complain to you because you have it worse. And I say this to everyone, like, it doesn't matter who has it worse. Like, everyone is entitled to have feelings of anger, of frustration, of sadness, of jealousy, of whatever it is you're feeling. It doesn't matter if someone else is in a worse situation. It doesn't diminish what you feel. And he just said, I'm just tired of the twins. And I feel that. And I definitely feel like he has felt that for a while. It is a lot to carry when you are trying to grow up and be a kid. And sometimes I feel like he's far too grown up for his own good. And it really made me sad. And I just said, I get it. And you're allowed to feel tired of it because it is a lot. And, I think sometimes we think that we can't have these feelings of, I wish life were different. And we should just be thankful for what we've got because we're healthy. We've got a house over our heads. And I am the first person to talk about gratitude. I am big on the gratitude. I live for gratitude. It makes such a difference to our lives. But also, I am here for being able to say, this is shit. This is unfair. And I wish things were different. And a lot of people would maybe disagree. And I'm not necessarily saying I want to take the autism away. Like, that's what some people say. Not necessarily saying that, but the learning disability is it makes things so much harder. It's so much more complex. And it's something that I've only really grappled the idea of over the last couple of years. So we'd had this big moment where we were talking and we were sharing, and I am going to try and do more stuff. He just started young carers, so he does go out once in half term, and one night a month they have like a little hangout and a pizza and play pool and stuff with other young carers. But he's literally just started, so he's not really got any friends from it, but he's starting to build relationships. It's hard, isn't it, when you're that age? None of his friends get it. None of his friends have to deal with the shit that we do, like just before he goes to school, let alone like for the whole day or the whole week or the whole month. And, I have a great relationship with all my children, but, with Nathaniel, he's been there from day one. It's been me and him for the longest time with the twins. We spend the most time with the twins, and it's hard. And I'm just very thankful that I'm in the place where he feels like he can open up to me. So by bedtime, and Luca was still going strong with outbursts and meltdowns. And, we're trying to do everything we can to make him more comfortable, to make him happier. And it's just, and just nothing is working. And I was just getting emotional. And I felt sad that, like, the other kids have to sacrifice me, things, time, they break things, they don't understand boundaries, they get hit, they get shouted at. It's stressful and it puts everyone under this heaviness. It kind of like holds over us. So I shared happy pictures, but I shared on my stories, but I shared truthful words about how we really were feeling, and that my conversation with Nathaniel, and how, I really try and see the positive. I really do. And I think I'm so good at that. But I think I've got a really good balance now of being really honest as well. But sometimes I don't always show that on social media. Sometimes I feel like I can't share the bad stuff because it's so bad, So it's like wanting to share, but then not feeling like it's actually appropriate. I never share meltdowns, so that's why I know it's a contrast, but I share the happy pictures and the happy videos, and then the reality of how we really feel. And I think that's just, how my way of being able to share and talk about it. So it was a bit depressive. Those posts were a bit depressive, right? And it was real. It was honest. And then the morning was a little bit screamy, not too bad, but going to school is like a huge transition for the 5 kids, and getting them all out the door and ready and remembering all the things, which is my brain. Can't tell you how many times we've turned up at school and I've forgotten the bags. I mean, obviously the bags are technically the children's responsibilities, but I should be the last person to check. And yeah, it's happened. It happens. It happens. It happens. It's just one of those things. And by the time then I wanted to share my happy, glam, excited self, I felt like I couldn't, because I felt like if I shared that instantly, that contrast was so extreme that it would make me look like I was a big fat phony, like I was a fake, like it was all an act. But it's almost like I have to compartmentalize. It doesn't sound right, but I can't think what it is. Like my life, like I feel like I live for the week at the minute, because these are the good days for me. The kids are still kind of young. They're in school. I've only got a few more years left of this. When the twins hit 16, they have to move to a different placement, because unfortunately their special needs school doesn't have doesn't have a sixth form. And there are very limited spaces, as you can imagine, for sixth form for special needs kids. And they'll probably have to go into separate places, which is a whole other headache for me to think about. And after that, when they turn 18, they technically can be in education till 25 with an EHCP, but again, it's finding all the things for them to be able to do, and then it's going to be ferrying them around, because who knows if transport is going to be something that we're going to be able to access and stuff. And so these are the good days. These are, as challenging as they are also, I'm very aware that these are more simple than what the future holds. The twins will never live on their own. They might live in, I don't know what, supported living, live with us at home. I don't know. There are options out there, and it's something that is constantly on my mind, but I'm very aware that I'm living in the good days. So I am living for the week, which is sad, because I would love to live for the weekends and spend time with the kids. But as much as I do, I soak up those moments that are good, it is also very heavy and very hard. So I can't compartmentalize, whatever the word is. And I kind of put it in a box. And I mean, I came back down to earth with a bit of a crash, because I then had to go. I got a phone call saying that Luca, is at 2:15, was dysregulated and had a temperature of 36.8. Pretty sure that's not a temperature, but okay. But they were worried that he would be so dysregulated that he would be hurting himself or someone else on the bus. So I was in a panic. And by this time I was like, okay, I'm going to have to go pick up my other child from school, because I cannot do the school run with him dysregulated, running wild, when I also got a toddler and another child to look after. So I had to pick up my other son early with my toddler, and then go pick up the twins. By this point, it was 2:45, and all the big buses to pick them up were already there, already lined up. So, and it's like stress heaven. And like, I'm trying to reverse into a space. I keep clipping my wheel. There's like people from the other, like the normal secondary school, like walking past all the time. And I'm like, just like, fuck it, I'm just going to park in front of all the buses. I put my handbrake on, luckily, because when I got back in the car, I realised I'd left the car and drive, so automatic. So thank God the handbrake works. We had that replaced recently, and I'm very thankful. All the things I just, would just forget. And what was he like? He strolled out of class fine. I picked up Jude as well, because there was no point sending one on the bus. He strolled out of class fine. And then when I'm in the car, I'm thinking, hang on, when he's on the bus, there's a driver and there's a whole other adult there to supervise, to watch. When I'm in the car, I've got 4 kids and I'm driving. What's more dangerous? I definitely think me driving alone without a supervision is more dangerous. And he was a bit agitated and he hit me on the head because he sat directly behind it, which he doesn't normally do. But there was something on the other seat, which I should have just moved. But anyway, is what it is. She was fine. It was a gentle tap. He does this weird like thing with his fingers. So yeah, it was chaotic. And then he came home and he was fine. And I mean, he's been quiet. He's got a cold. But I'm like, he's got a cold. Like, what am I supposed to do? Not go to work, cancel all my calls, lose out on money because he's got a cold and a temperature of 36.8. So I sent him off this morning. He slept really well. He seemed in good spirits, in normal spirits. And I sent him off and we'll see if I get to go to work or not after recording this. So yes, what did I do? I did post in the end, but I posted a bridge. So I'd taken some photos of the twins in their new purple uniforms. They've got new purple jumpers, which I love. Not showing the logo, of course, trying to keep privacy. And I said something, I can't remember what I said, a more of a neutral kind of lead in. And then I posted me happy. But FOPO made me feel like a big fat phony and like it was all an act. And that's all in my head. I don't know how people would have taken that, but why does it matter? Why does it matter? Like when you look at what I share on social media, maybe I share 2 minutes of the day. There are 24 hours in the day, 24 hours, 2 minutes. If people are going to judge me upon those 2 minutes of what I do share, that's on them, isn't it? Like that's on them. Their opinion is not my truth. They don't deal with what happens behind closed doors. They don't know the full extent of, what we go through as a family. If people are going to judge me on 2 minutes, that's on them. And as I say, their opinion is not my truth. The people who matter the most to me, the people who are in my life, my family, my friends, they know my truth and they know who I am and what I do. And I am definitely not a big fat phony. I try as much as I can to share the realities and the stress, but also I'm allowed to be happy. I'm allowed to have a life. And that is something that has taken a long time to really get to terms with, that I can be a whole other person other than the mother of children with special educational needs and disabilities, and have wants and dreams and desires. And even though it feels like some days it's 10 times harder to actually be able to work towards those goals and achieving those things, I absolutely want to, because it's what keeps me sane. Honestly, if I didn't do my own stuff, I think I would just, I don't know, not love life. I think I would struggle so hard to enjoy, to find those moments that I do enjoy, to find the happiness and the gratitude, because I would just feel like I was in the bottom of this bottomless pit, never ending black hole. But doing stuff for me, being my whole other person other than the mother of neurodivergent and disabled children, is freeing. Gives me another sense of purpose, as well as my mission to give them the best life and be the best I can for them. And I think doing things for myself does make me a better mum, does make me a better person, shows them that, despite what we go through, to keep pushing, to keep going, to keep reaching. That was long. Thank you for listening. I hope that helped. And if you have a FOPO moment that creep in, I want to start a little series called FOPO Anonymous, like Alcoholics Anonymous. What do we think? Let me know. And share. I was thinking I could share on social media like different people's FOPO moments, and we could analyze it, pick it apart. And you'd be anonymous, obviously, because that's the whole point, right? So yeah, let me know what you think about that. I'd love to give it a go. See if we can get a little series going online. If you've enjoyed this episode, please do tune in again soon. Follow, share with your friends, tag someone on social media, send me a message to let me know that this has helped, or what you love about Unmasking Mum. I absolutely love being here, getting to word vomit on you, and I hope you enjoy listening too. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time. Bye.